What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing a bit of a prediction video for the next Animal Crossing update. Now, if you are a subscriber of the channel, you've probably seen me reacting to most of the new trailers. This time I figured, you know what, let's predict, and then we can look back and see which ones we got right. And here's the thing, I think I know like 60% of what's going to go on in the next fall update. So at the end of this, I actually want you guys to put your predictions, and then you can come back to this video and see like, wow, I'm amazing. I predicted everything. Okay, so here we go. So in the last Animal Crossing trailer, the only kind of hint or little clue they gave us for this next fall trailer is Jack was at the end. They give us two things. Jack was at the end, and they also said coming in the fall. So they don't normally do that. If I'm mistaken, don't they usually say like in the next August trailer or in the next September update or something like that? But this is fall, so I think it's going to be a two-part update. So instead of like a minute or a minute and a half long video, it's probably going to be pushing towards like 2 minutes, a little after 2 minutes. So we can kind of assume that there's going to be a September update and an October update. So let's get the easy one out of the way first. So obviously October is going to be Jack. He was in the picture at the end. So I really do think that, that Jack is coming, obviously, for Halloween. But here's some little details. If you didn't play the other Animal Crossing games, here's what I think is going to happen. So Jack usually comes in the beginning of October. He kind of lets you know what's happening, kind of like Zipper T, introducing himself, so that on Halloween, you're not like, who the heck is this guy? So he'll probably introduce himself. And I think during this whole Halloween event, there will be 2 sets to collect. When I say sets, basically like furniture sets or DIY sets. We'll get into that in 1 second. So the first thing that was in the past game, because let's be honest, Nintendo, with these updates, the diving, the dream suites, they've looked at past games and kind of put a New Horizons spin on it. So I think it is important to talk about New Leaf. So there was 2 sets. There was a Jack set, which kind of similar to the Mermaid set, where it was just interior items. It was basically a bunch of orange items with pumpkin faces on it. So pretty great, right? So I think that will come back possibly as a reward. Give me 1 second. There was also a creepy set, which actually was like more outdoor items, but as you know, you couldn't decorate outdoors. Like there was like a gravestone, there was this creepy like grandfather clock, wallpaper, things like that. I think the creepy set will return as well. However, I think the creepy set will be DIYs. So whatever event they will have you do, during the Halloween event, you'll probably be getting these creepy DIYs that you use some new currency to craft. Because I think crafting, obviously the new part of the game, I think they're going to intertwine them. Probably not as extreme as Bunny Day, but yeah, I think Nintendo's learned their lesson. They actually patched out like a lot of the spawns of the eggs. So I think they're definitely listening to the community. So I think that creepy set is going to be DIYs that you obtain somehow during this event. And then the Jack stuff, the orange pumpkin furniture, will probably be rewards given to you by Jack for turning in candy. So basically what you had to do in past Animal Crossing games, put on different masks and then talk to other villagers. For example, like Fauna would be like, Eric is so dreamy. No, listen. Eric is easily scared by a skeleton mask, which is already in the game, by the way. So you would put on a skeleton mask, go into Eric's house, and then that's how he would give you candy. So it's kind of like mini quests almost, which brings me to my next thing. I think that masks will come back. Now we already have the what do we have? The skeleton mask. And we also have the mummy mask. It's already in the game. However, there was 4 more that were in New Leaf. So some of the ones that come to mind, there was a ghost one, there was a Frankenstein one. So I think all of those masks will come back. And of course, they will be available in Able Sisters, along with possibly some new costumes. There's already a lot of costumes in the game. There's like a vampire costume and stuff like that. So I think Able Sisters will get all the masks, everything like that. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker though. So in the last update, they added an Able Sisters update, which they didn't even explain really. And basically you can search in the kiosk, you can favorite creators. It was a really low key update, but it was really cool to find, and I've been finding it very useful. So I think there will be another Able Sisters stealth update, and that will be finally the addition of a shopping cart. So I really do think with all the costumes, and especially everyone's going to want to buy a lot of things, that I think they're going to do a subtle shopping cart update. Basically get a bunch of things and check out that way. It might be shown in the trailer. I'm trying to look in my crystal ball right here. It might be shown in the trailer, but then again, it might be an update that the fans will have to find, which I'm okay with. So I think that's pretty much it for the Jack update. I think it's going to be amazing, and I'm really excited for the DIYs. I think the creepy set is going to turn into DIYs, probably some different items, but they usually do Halloween pretty well. Okay, so that covers October for the most part. There might be some other things sprinkled in there. However, what the heck is going on with the September update? There's a lot of rumors going along. Basically, like farming has been one of the big rumors. Brewster has been another big rumor. I personally think that there is going to be an NPC coming in September. However, I'm more confident in this NPC than I am in Brewster, and that is Katrina. So I think Katrina will make an appearance in this next update trailer, and I'm pretty certain of it. Here's the reason why. So in the last update, I should have been wearing like a tinfoil hat for this video. In the last update, we got the King Tut mask, which was a total random item added into the game. Essentially how you unlocked that was if you were hitting rocks and a piece of gold came out, you would pick up that gold and a light bulb would go off, and you basically said something like, I know what to do with this, and you would get the King Tut mask DIY. Now, if you have made the King Tut mask DIY, you will know that when you put it on, you kind of fall all over the place. It's really funny because it's like top heavy, so you fall all over the place. I think, personally, that is a hint that Katrina will come. So if you are new to the series, you may be saying, well, who the heck is that? Katrina, I'm explaining so much in this. Katrina is a fortune teller that's been around since the first Animal Crossing. So it's kind of surprising that she's not in this game. So basically, she would come like any other NPC. She would show up in your town square, and she would be in a fortune teller tent. So basically, you would go into that tent, and she would give you your fortune. You would have to pay her, I think it was 500 bells. There was definitely a payment to this. So you would pay her 500 bells. She would give you your fortune, which, if I'm remembering correctly, would always be bad. And then she would say some piece of clothing that you would have to wear to kind of reverse your fortune. So when your fortune was bad before you got that piece of clothing, you would trip all over the place, exactly like you do with the King Tut mask, like exactly. So just wear the King Tut mask in Animal Crossing, run around, fall. That's what you would do normally because your fortune was so bad. I think it would also affect your turnip prices. Like your turnip prices would be really low that week or that day or something like that. It's okay. Mine are always low. So I don't think Katrina's going to do anything different. But I think she could show up, which would be really interesting. Now, her alone as an NPC, like she's a cool NPC. I'm always excited to see her, kind of like Wisp, but it is really annoying, right? Like you always get a bad fortune. You have to put this piece of clothing on to reverse your luck or your fate or whatever. And it would be pretty much done at the end of that. Like you wouldn't, I know that in New Leaf, if you visited her 20 times, she would actually permanently move in. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to stay an NPC. However, I think one more thing could come back to kind of make Katrina interesting. So you following me right now? So what is this video? Okay, so not Katrina. There was this item in the older games called a fortune cookie. Now, I believe that fortune cookies still exist in Pocket Camp. So like they still want to keep this lore, right? Now, a fortune cookie was an item that you can get, and you read your fortune. You could sell it, I believe, but you could also turn in these fortune cookie items for Nintendo items. Now, I have been on record saying that I don't think Nintendo items are even like close. Like, I don't know necessarily if they'll come back this year. However, Katrina, fortune cookies, put them together, that could be something. Maybe they could change Katrina's mechanics a little bit. Maybe she can give out fortune cookies, and that's how I think they could subtly add in these Nintendo items, because you would trade these in for Nintendo items, and there were some pretty cool Nintendo items. So that could be a thing. That could be September. However, there could be another thing. Brewster could be real, and Brewster could come back as, the coffee guy. He could set up shop in the rumored museum expansion. Was that a spoiler? I don't know. Was that a spoiler? It's been around, guys. The rumor has been around. People have data mined certain things like that. Brewster, of course, owns a coffee shop. You can actually work at the coffee shop too and make your villager orders, which is really cute. I think this could make sense, especially for fall, but I think with that King Tut mask, that just makes me think Katrina. And I don't think they would necessarily add 2 NPCs to the future update. So it's either between Katrina or Brewster. I'm more so leaning towards Katrina. However, I think Brewster will come eventually. Obviously, he has to come. He's so beloved in this franchise. So if that whole Katrina conspiracy doesn't happen, I think Brewster will come, and that also would mean gyroids would come, which is basically like if you're new to the series, if you ever build like a bridge or something like that, that little like almost like fire hydrant looking thing where you pay off the bridge balance, that's a gyroid. When the new update in the Dream Suite, when you see Luna, that little like thing that's smoking, that's a gyroid. So those little creatures, basically they're collectibles. So it's basically another thing that you guys can collect. I'm kind of more so leaning to Katrina though. I think it would fit in with kind of the fall spooky vibes. So I think it's between one of those NPCs. I don't know if Nintendo would add both of those NPCs, so I think one of those is probably a safe bet. The last thing that we need to talk about is farming. It's definitely a hot topic in the community right now. Me personally, I'm gonna say this. I don't know if I necessarily want it, at least right now. I think farming is a giant update. It would take a lot of our island to just grow crops and things like that. But since you clicked on the video, I'm gonna say what I think would happen if farming came to the game. So I think probably around 4 to 6 new crops would come into the game. I personally would like it if they made us water these crops. In past games, you had to water the flowers for them to stay alive. And in this game, you don't have to. You actually get rewarded for time traveling and not worrying about the flowers. They actually grow more. So my prediction would be if farming came back, or well, not came back, if farming happened in this game, I think they would punish time travelers. I don't have any problem with time travelers, by the way. But I think that if you didn't water your crops, they would possibly die or not grow to the next stage. So I think they are going to make us water the crops. There's also a big rumor about cooking. What would cooking do? What would cooking do? Possibly just be a gift to raise friendship levels. As far as stat boosters, they could work like turnips. Like if you ate something that you cooked, you could get 10, like the turnips, they fill up that meter. You could get possibly that. But now here's the thing. I would personally like farming to come in the spring. And I know that's really far away, but it would make sense because that's when you plant crops. And it would kind of give this game new life and would kind of reinvent this game a little bit to stay fresh. So that's personally what I prefer. But farming is a hot topic. I would not be surprised if it came in this next update. So those are my predictions. I think we're getting a Katrina update in September. And I think October, our boy Jack is going to come with the Able Sisters update, the masks, the creepy set, the Jack set. I am excited. But right now, I want to know your predictions in the comment section below. What do you think of mine? Am I crazy? Am I dumb? I don't think I am. Just trying to predict things, man. Just trying to live my life. Okay, what is that? All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.